I've got another cheapo Dollar General toy set for you to Frankenstein into something for your tabletop today. This set is kind of a treasure trove. I'm about to use every single piece inside it. Let's start with the knights. There's a couple of problems with these two. Their heads are strangely narrow. I don't know if Pepper from American Horror Story is under the helmet, but I'm glad we can't look. And second, they have more holes in their backs than the notorious B.I.G. Pull that head off, and then put them back together using hot glue. I'm also going to dremel a hole into a lid of an old pill bottle in their feet. Nice wooden skewer. So shove that in there to sort of pin them. Hot glue them down. I'm going to build this shield using a round woodsy and a plastic jewel bead. And then we're going to hot glue that shield onto the arm of our knight here. And as I also made a spear for him out of a wooden skewer. This one's a little narrower than the type you get from Walmart. He's got a Halloween novelty skull bead for a head. It's a little oversized, but I think it works. It's certainly better than the heads they came with. They are fully assembled. I'll show you what they look like painted up in a little bit. The real prize in this set, however, is the giant crossbow. What's great about this crossbow is you can turn it quite easily into a ballista. All you have to do is stick it on a Jenga block, put some wheels on the Jenga block, and you've got yourself a ballista. Now, I am going to go a little step further than that. I'm going to make sort of a mounted Warcart fantasy ballista thing. Some sort of fantasy war machine. Now, our cart is going to be pulled by a couple of these bears from the Arcane Army's Roman sprue. We're going to have to take a couple of steps to remove that rider using our Dremel tool. We're going to cut off the waist and then also Dremel down the leg that's showing on the outside. The cart itself is going to be a Happy Meal Snoopy's Farmer Snoopy handcart. This is available on eBay. Collector's prices can be kind of high, but if you stumble across this thing like I did in a thrift store, snatch it right up. Now the handcart has handles. I'm going to be taking those off using my cutting Dremel tool, and not only that, I will be sharpening them into points using the sort of auger tool, and then we're going to clean that up using our safety knife. Now I'm going to Dremel some holes in the back corners of it, and we're going to take a little E6000 and put that on some toothpicks, and we're just going to put some spikes on the top of the cart as well, just to make it look a little nastier. Now I'm going to put the shield and the crossbow on the front of the cart, just so I can get an idea of how this whole thing is going to fit together. Sort of eyeball it. I'm going to take a little hot glue, put that on the front of the cart, and then attach the shield from the knight set to that front. And we're going to clean up any excess glue that's on there. I've also got this plastic applicator. I'm not really sure what it's for. I've just got a bag of these. I picked it up somewhere. But it's a nice soft plastic, and it'll be a perfect mount for our crossbow. Just have to Dremel a hole in it, and the crossbow not only fits in there, but it'll be able to swivel, which is kind of a nice thing on a model. I'm going to cut it at an angle because the crossbow handle is at an angle, and we want it to sort of sit flat at the front of the cart there. So I'm going to hot glue a couple of flat wooden beads into the bottom of the cart, because otherwise any 28mm model is going to be lost in there. It's just going to sink to the bottom and not be able to see what it's firing at. So we've got to bring the floor up of this cart a little bit, just so there's some visibility there. And we'll hot glue the crossbow mount into the front. Now we have a general idea of what that cart's going to look like. I'm going to drill a hole into the remaining waist of our rider here, and we're going to E6000 a couple of toothpicks into that waist. Now we're going to conceal all of this. I'm also going to put a little hot glue onto the wheels here, because I don't want our cart rolling. Once it's set up, it's going to be static, so I'm going to freeze everything. I'm going to take one of these raisin lids. It's a plastic lid that comes on a cardboard box of raisins, and we're going to use that for a base. I'm just going to hot glue our plastic Warcart down, as well as our bears. Like I said, we're going to conceal everything, and the way I'm going to do that is with a popsicle stick that I'm going to eyeball measure. Just mark it out with a Sharpie here. And then I'm going to take that same popsicle stick and I'm going to use a wood gouging tool on it. Once we've got that to the right length, we're going to hot glue a couple of smaller pieces of the same type of popsicle stick to the sides to cover the sides of our bears. And then we're just going to hot glue that popsicle stick on top of the bears. that whole assembly. And I've got a couple of bits of sharpened toothpick there in the front. Now, I didn't love the way the ballista was sitting on top of the cart, so I'm going to cut a piece of the shield out with the Dremel tool, cutting tool, and then clean it up with a safety knife. And as you can see, crossbow sits a lot better now. Sort of snaps into place. And we'll cover the base with some PVA glue. You can sprinkle some sand on and be here all day, or just dump it all out like I'm doing. Dump all that sand on that base, craft sand, and I let it sit overnight. After that, I black bomb it with some spray paint. I add some base coat colors, some highlights. I dry brush some metal on it. I think it turned out pretty good. Let's take a look at the finished products. If you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoy my videos in general, please consider donating to my GoFundMe campaign. It keeps the channel on the air, helps me make these videos. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe.